Welcome to Unsolved Historical Mysteries. The truth behind the Roswell incident. Did we really make contact with aliens? In the summer of 1947, a mysterious event took place in the quiet desert town of Roswell, New Mexico. A strange object crashed on a ranch just outside of town. And what followed would become one of the most famous and debated incidents in UFO history. So, what exactly happened? On July 8, 1947, the Roswell Army Airfield issued a press release stating they had recovered a flying disc from the crash site. This announcement sparked a wave of excitement and curiosity across the country. People were captivated by the idea that something from beyond our world may have landed right here on Earth. However, the very next day, the military retracted their statement, claiming that the debris wasn't from a flying saucer at all. According to them, it was just a weather balloon. But by then, the damage was done. The idea that the government was covering up something much bigger had already taken hold in the public's mind. This incident marked the beginning of a cultural phenomenon that would persist for decades. Even though the official explanation was accepted by many, others remained skeptical. How could such a significant mistake be made by the military? And why did witnesses describe the wreckage as being so strange, unlike anything they had seen before? The Roswell incident quickly became a focal point for UFO believers and conspiracy theorists alike. Newspapers, radio broadcasts, and later television shows turned the story into something larger than life. For those who believed in extraterrestrial visitors, Roswell was proof that we weren't alone in the universe. But the story didn't end there. As time went on, more details began to emerge, or at least, alleged details. Stories of alien bodies being found at the crash site, whispers of secret autopsies, and claims that the government had locked away both evidence and eyewitnesses only deepened the mystery. What really happened that summer in 1947? To understand why the Roswell incident continues to fascinate, we need to look at the testimonies of those who claim to have been there. Over the years, several eyewitnesses have come forward, offering their own accounts of what they saw that summer in 1947. One of the most important figures in this mystery is Major Jesse Marcel, an intelligence officer with the Roswell Army Airfield. Marcel was one of the first military personnel on the scene after the crash. According to him, the wreckage was unlike anything he had ever seen before. Marcel described the debris as a mix of strange, lightweight metals and materials that seemed far too advanced for any earthly technology at the time. He even claimed that when he showed some of the wreckage to his family, they were equally puzzled by its unusual properties. But Marcel wasn't the only one with a story to tell. Many local residents in the Roswell area also reported strange sightings and events around the time of the crash. Some claimed to have seen mysterious lights in the sky in the days leading up to the incident, while others said they witnessed military personnel quickly cordoning off the crash site and removing the wreckage. These witnesses described the military's actions as highly secretive, fueling suspicions that something otherworldly had been discovered. Then, there are the claims about alien bodies. Over the years, several individuals, both military and civilian, have come forward with stories of extraterrestrial beings found at the crash site. According to these accounts, small, humanoid creatures were recovered along with the wreckage. Some witnesses even alleged that the bodies were taken to a secret military base for examination, and that the government worked hard to suppress any knowledge of their existence. One such claim came from Glenn Dennis, a local mortician, who said that he was called by the military to provide small coffins around the time of the crash. He also claimed that a nurse he knew later confided in him about seeing the bodies of alien beings at the base. Although these accounts are highly controversial and difficult to verify, they have added a layer of intrigue that keeps the Roswell story alive. Over the years, several whistleblowers, including former military personnel, have also come forward with their own versions of events. Some have claimed that the government not only recovered alien technology at Roswell, but has been reverse engineering it for decades. These stories have been largely dismissed by skeptics, but for many UFO enthusiasts, they represent further proof of a grand cover-up. Major Marcel, before his death, expressed regret for his role in the incident. He claimed that he was pressured by higher-ups to downplay what he had found, and that the true nature of the wreckage was never fully revealed to the public. His words have been a cornerstone for those who believe in the existence of a cover-up. The testimonies of witnesses like Marcel and Dennis, along with the stories of military whistleblowers, have kept the Roswell mystery alive for more than 7 decades. But for every new account, there are just as many questions left unanswered. While many believe that the Roswell incident was an encounter with extraterrestrial life, others are convinced that there is a much simpler explanation. In fact, the U.S. government has provided several explanations over the years, the most prominent being Project Mogul. So, what was Project Mogul? During the 1940s, the Cold War was in full swing, and the U.S. military was deeply concerned about Soviet nuclear testing. To monitor Soviet activities, they developed a top-secret project involving high-altitude balloons equipped with sensitive microphones. These balloons were designed to detect the sound waves from distant nuclear explosions. According to the government, the wreckage found near Roswell was actually one of these balloons, not a UFO. This explanation is backed up by documents that were declassified years after the event. According to the military, the unusual materials described by witnesses were part of the highly classified equipment used in Project Mogul. The lightweight, metallic debris that seemed so mysterious at the time was actually reflective radar targets, and the strange symbols reported by some witnesses were simply markings on the equipment. But how does this theory hold up to scrutiny? To many, Project Mogul seems like a plausible explanation. It explains the secrecy surrounding the crash, as the government was eager to protect information about their nuclear detection efforts. Additionally, the materials found at the site could easily have been mistaken for something more exotic by civilians unfamiliar with military technology. However, skeptics of the alien theory also point to the lack of physical evidence supporting claims of extraterrestrial involvement. No conclusive proof of alien bodies has ever been found, and the wreckage itself has been thoroughly examined by scientists. Many experts agree that the materials found at the crash site were consistent with what would be used in high-altitude balloon experiments of the time. But if the explanation is so straightforward, why do people continue to doubt the official story? One reason is that the government's response to the incident raised many questions. The initial statement about a flying disc, followed by a sudden retraction, seemed suspicious to many. Why would the military make such a dramatic mistake? This back and forth fueled conspiracy theories and led to decades of distrust in the official narrative. Furthermore, some argue that Project Mogul does not explain every detail of the event. For example, what about the witnesses who claim to have seen alien bodies? And why have multiple whistleblowers come forward over the years with claims of a cover-up? While Project Mogul provides a scientifically grounded explanation, The doubts and gaps in the official story have kept the alien theory alive. The lack of definitive answers has allowed both believers and skeptics to hold on to their respective interpretations of the event. Ultimately, the Roswell incident remains a story where the truth seems elusive. Whether you believe in extraterrestrials or secret Cold War projects, the debate continues to this day. The Roswell incident did not just spark curiosity. It ignited a cultural movement that left a lasting mark on how we think about UFOs and extraterrestrial life. In the decades since the crash, Roswell has become synonymous with UFO lore, and its influence on popular culture is undeniable. The incident quickly evolved from a local event into a global phenomenon. Books, television shows, movies, and documentaries have all drawn inspiration from the mystery of Roswell. One of the most famous examples is the long-running TV series The X-Files, which explored government conspiracies surrounding UFOs. Many of the themes in that show echoed the suspicions sparked by Roswell. Movies like Independence Day and Close Encounters of the Third Kind also owe part of their storytelling to the seeds planted by the Roswell incident. But it is not just Hollywood that keeps Roswell in the spotlight. The town itself has embraced its reputation as the UFO capital of the world. Every year, thousands of visitors flock to Roswell for its UFO festival. The event is filled with alien-themed activities, lectures from UFO researchers, and much more. What started as a rural town in New Mexico has become a symbol of the extraterrestrial question, attracting both serious researchers and curious tourists alike. Roswell did not just influence pop culture. It also helped spark the modern UFO conspiracy movement. After the incident, people became increasingly suspicious of government narratives surrounding unidentified flying objects. This growing distrust was fueled by the secrecy of military operations and the conflicting statements made in the aftermath of the crash. In the years that followed, many UFO organizations were established, including the Mutual UFO Network, known as MUFON, which was founded in 1969. These groups dedicate themselves to investigating UFO sightings and advocating for government transparency. In recent years, the government has made small strides toward addressing the UFO phenomenon. Declassified documents and official reports have shed light on numerous unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAPs. While these disclosures are not directly linked to Roswell, they have reignited public interest in the idea that we might not be alone in the universe. The Roswell incident may have taken place over 70 years ago, but its cultural impact continues to grow. Whether in the form of blockbuster movies, research organizations, or festivals, Roswell remains a key reference point in the ongoing conversation about UFOs and extraterrestrial life. After decades of debate, investigations, and countless theories, what do we actually know about the Roswell incident? The truth is, despite all the attention the event has received, there are still more questions than answers. On one side, we have the official explanation. According to the U.S. government, what crashed outside of Roswell in 1947 was nothing more than a balloon from Project Mogul, a top-secret operation designed to detect Soviet nuclear activity. The materials found at the site, which witnesses described as strange and otherworldly, were supposedly nothing more than ordinary equipment used in this experiment. This explanation is supported by declassified documents and scientific analysis of the wreckage. For many, this explanation is sufficient, and the Roswell mystery is considered solved. But for others, the story is far from over. Eyewitnesses like Major Jesse Marcel and local residents still believe that what they encountered was not of this earth. The tales of alien bodies, secret autopsies, and government cover-ups have persisted for decades, adding fuel to the fire of conspiracy theories. Even though no concrete evidence of extraterrestrial life has ever been found, these stories have become an inseparable part of the Roswell narrative. So, what is the most likely truth? It is possible that Roswell was simply a case of Cold War paranoia, where secrecy and miscommunication led to widespread speculation and misunderstanding. The mysterious debris could indeed have been part of a classified military project, and the claims of alien contact could have been exaggerated over time. The lack of clear communication from the military in the immediate aftermath of the incident certainly contributed to the confusion. However, the lack of definitive proof has allowed the mystery to endure. The possibility that extraterrestrial life visited Earth, only to be covered up by a secretive government, continues to captivate imaginations around the world. And as long as there are gaps in the official story, the Roswell incident will remain fertile ground for speculation. In the end, the Roswell incident has become more than just a question of what happened on that hot summer day in 1947. It has evolved into a symbol of our collective curiosity about the unknown. Whether we ever uncover the full truth or not, Roswell represents the enduring human desire to explore the mysteries of the universe. Will we ever truly know what happened at Roswell? Perhaps the answer lies not in what we know, but in what we are still willing to believe. If you found this video helpful or interesting, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel.